from Sacramento, California, but now fights out of Honolulu, Hawaii. Has a very impressive record of 55-1 with 50 wins by knockouts. He goes up against Mark Russell of Manchester, England, with a record of 31-4 with 19 by knockouts. In the dressing room with the champion, maybe a little apprehensive, coming off the injury in November of 1992, but fighting on one fight before he gets ready to go in the ring tonight. Dennis the Terminator Alexio seemingly indestructible and coming back from a devastating career-threatening injury. If you set out to build the ultimate kickboxing machine, he would be tall, he would be heavy, he would possess 4 deadly weapons. He is Dennis the Terminator Alexio. The prototype was unleashed on the public during the spring of 1980 and performed well above expectations, wreaking havoc and decimating the opposition. December of 1992, the Terminator headed down under to Australia. During a routine pre-fight inspection, 8 hours before the battle began, Alexio detected a soft spot in the ring.
You're going to tighten this, huh?
I don't know about the mat, but there's not the rope.
Yeah, they're going to tighten the mat,
And looking across the...
Believing the surface had been returned to normal, Dennis Alexio stepped into the ring to face Australian Stan Longinidis.
3-minute round to the gym. It's going to be interesting.
Almost as quickly as the fight began, the Terminator seemed to malfunction, crumpling to the canvas.
Oh, wait a minute. What's happened here? I reckon he's done an Achilles.
I broke my tibia and fibula, and I suffered a compression spiral fracture, which can only be caused by weight bearing and twisting by stepping in a hole, a soft spot in the ring. The Australians over there tried to pull some shenanigans and, state that I broke my leg by blocking a kick. And they tried to, pull a fast one and take one of my world titles. But it was changed immediately to a no contest because of the nature of the break and just how I broke it. You can't take 4 steps if you have a broken leg, especially if you break your tibia. I mean, I was more worried about my leg than someone trying to put a blemish on my record that wasn't warranted. I mean, the injury I suffered was a very bad one and could have been career-ending. And if anybody's going to take my title, they've got to beat me in the ring.
The fallen champion was recalled for emergency repairs. A metal rod was inserted to repair the broken leg. Alexio spent the next 9 months diligently rehabilitating the damaged weapon. It was time for a test run. The target was a prior victim, Dennis Mad Dog Downey.
I got in the ring 9 months later, which is really quick for the kind of injury I sustained. And I'm almost all the way back now.
Tonight, Alexio faces a more imposing opponent in challenger Mark Russell, the British heavyweight champion. Only time will tell if the blueprint for destruction has returned to form. The most devastating fighter maybe in the history of all of the martial arts, the heavyweight champion Dennis Alexio. As he fights Mark Russell tonight, what does Russell have to do to overcome that irresistible force of the champion, Joe?
Well, I haven't seen Russell fight before, Sam, but we do know that he'll need to use a lot of defensive skills. In fact, Russell himself says that he plans to stay out of Alexio's way for the first 4 or 5 rounds. He thinks that's what's gotten everybody else into trouble. He then says he's going to close in on Alexio, that he's going to start landing those bombs on him after about the 5th round, and it sounds like a good plan.
Well, the big question is, how long can that cat and mouse game go? Interesting also, talking about champion Jean-Yves Theriault on Dennis Alexio. What does the champion have to do to overcome a very determined Mark Russell tonight?
Well, Dennis Alexio is a very aggressive, very powerful champion. He's got 50 knockouts in 56 fights. I think his advantage is pressure, and I don't believe that Mark Russell will be able to contain him.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear the champion's comments on Dennis Alexio as he, too, aims on his countdown, as he, too, tries to make it to Montreal for the big shootout coming up in March. The native of Manchester, England, Mark Russell, gets ready to step into this ring. He's only 24 years of age. He said, admittedly, by arriving here at Lake Tahoe, he's had trouble with a time change in altitude. That may be the least of his worries as he gets ready to step in the ring tonight with the Terminator. As we talked about on the pregame build-up of this particular fight tonight, quite obviously a jab and some good kicks are hoping to keep Alexio off of Mark Russell. But again, will that be enough weapons in the cat-and-mouse game that he'll try to play tonight with the world champion? The world champion probably still, despite his inactivity, still, of course, sends fears down the back of any of the competitors hailing out of Honolulu, Hawaii now. Alexio made a return to the ring, a very successful one in August. But right now, he's ready to enter the ring, and I know that injury, along with his future, are still playing on his mind a bit here in Tahoe tonight. Of a villain, but the power and the skills of a hero. The defending heavyweight champion ready to defend his title here tonight in Lake Tahoe. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for the two combatants tonight. At 34 years of age, Alexio is 10 years older than his English opponent. Both stand 5'11", but Alexio enjoys a 7-pound weight advantage on 198 pounds and a slightly better arm and leg reach against his opponent tonight. The rules that will govern this world title fight for the PKC Heavyweight Championship, they'll fight 12 rounds. Each round is set for 2 minutes in length. Scoring is done on a 10-point must system with 3 judges doing the scoring outside the ring. The 3 knockdown rule is not in effect. A standing 8 count is in effect at the discretion of the referee, and each of the fighters must throw a minimum of 8 powerful kicks per round in this title fight. The crowd is ready. The second of our world title fights is on the line with Dennis Alexio going up against Mark Russell. Let's get the introduction. Here's our ring announcer, Jim Hall.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this fight is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Dr. Elias Ghanem, Chairman. Executive Director Mark Ratner. Commissioners Nat Carasali, Luther Mack, Bruce Lane, and Dr. James Ney. Our doctors at ringside are Dr. Craig Goodmanson and Dr. Joseph Heffler. Our timekeepers are Jim Carpenter and Steve Menzel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's Judgment Day at Tahoe is being presented under the auspices of the PKA World Alliance and jointly sanctioned by the Professional Karate Commission, Glenn Feeney, President, the World Karate Association, Dale Floyd, North American Chairman, and the International Kickboxing Federation, Steve Fossum, President. And now, part 2 of our co-main event. PKA Karate, the Kick of the 90s, and Caesars Tahoe proudly present the Heavyweight Contact Karate Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of American kickboxing. This bout is also sanctioned by the WKA. Our scoring judges for this bout are Glenn Kenny, Jeff Smith, and Doug Tucker. Our kick judges at ringside are Steve Wenger and Dan Verdugo. Our center referee is Bill Clark. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the waiting is over. First, our challenger. Fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to you all the way from Manchester, England, and brings with him 8 years' experience in kickboxing. He's 24 years old, stands 5'11" tall, and weighed in at 191 pounds. He has a kickboxing record of 31 wins against 4 losses, with 19 of his wins by knockout. He is the British national champion and ranked number 9 in the world by the Professional Karate Commission and number 7 by the WKA. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm American welcome for Mark Russell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the heavyweight champion is originally from Sacramento, California, and now fights out of Honolulu, Hawaii. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighed in today at 198 pounds. He has an American kickboxing record of 55 wins against 1 loss and 1 no contest, with 50 of his wins by KO. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the heavyweight kickboxing champion of the world. I present Dennis, the Terminator, Alexio.
Guys, I need 3 things. First off, I want you to listen to my commands and break when I say break. Second thing is, I don't want any holding at all. There's no clinching or holding. Third thing is kicks and punches above the waist. Listen to those to me. Listen to me at all times. You're accountable. You're accountable. Let's make it a great fight, guys. Go back to your corner.
So the 2 fighters are ready for 12 rounds for the World Heavyweight Championship for the PKC, and a good look at the champion here. Dennis Alexio, again started in the martial arts, hoping to improve his footwork as a linebacker in junior college in football back in 1979, and how far he has come in his 13 years of kickboxing. The world champion defending his title against Englishman Mark Russell. Joe Corley, one of the things Russell said he must do is, of course, stick and move against Alexio, not let him get on top of him here tonight early in this fight.
And I think Alexio, not having seen Russell, not knowing a lot about Russell, is probably a little less aggressive against him early on than we might have expected.
You can see the good left jab thrown there by Alexio. Russell tried to keep him honest with the round kicks. Good solid kicks by both fighters that time.
You see Alexio drilling the power in with that left leg, and that's the one that he broke. The rod runs down the shin. There's a screw that holds it in there. Actually, the screw got sheared off when they were inserting it. So Alexio says that rod may be with him for life. Be more trouble taking it out now with the screw sheared off in it.
Johnny, you had a great opportunity to talk to Dennis Alexio. Was there any apprehension on fighting on that injured leg?
No, I don't believe so, but once you've suffered an injury like that, I think that you will be gun-shy the first couple of times.
Left hook put him down.
So again, the hand power of Dennis Alexio puts Mark Russell down for the first time in this fight early in round 1.
Russell has been through some wars. He's lost. His losses have all been to very tough people. I don't know that he's psychologically ready for this Alexio power at this point.
Alexio just a little under 30 seconds to go in round 1. You can see Russell trying to come back with hand combinations. There's, of course, the round heel kick that caught Russell just up the side of the head. And down he goes for a second time.
I would have sworn that kick didn't knock him down. It must have hit back behind his ear somewhere.
Russell down twice in the early going. Another solid kick by the champion.
You can see Alexio feeling like some of the sharks that he stalks in his diving escapades there in Hawaii.
Mark Russell must be some concern for him as he goes back into his corner, being outweighed by 7 pounds, and a powerful Alexio putting him down twice.
Come on.
On his back. Yes, it is. It's your kicks. Come on.
Down twice in round number 1. Let's pick up the knockdown, the first one.
The left hook hit him back close to the ear on the jaw. I don't think he really thought it landed that hard, and then his legs didn't want to go. This spinning heel kick comes back around. I didn't think that hit him, Johnny.
Well, he caught him on top of the head, and I think just the weight of Dennis Alexio's body.
You think the force of the shin knocked him down? I mean, the force of the calf, I should say.
Round 2 of this PKC World Heavyweight Championship. Sam Smith along with Joe Curley. And, of course, the defending world champion, Jean-Yves Theriault, with us tonight.
Mark Russell is getting into this fight, though. He realizes that he can't let the Terminator take some pot shots at him. He's uncommonly calm, I think.
Here he comes.
Remember, he said he thought other people let Alexio force him into these wars, and he was going to stay out of the way.
And down again. Third time in the fight, and this may be the end as Russell struggling to get to his feet. Bill Clark, the referee.
9.
At 9, and Russell's up. The necessary questions, and now this partisan crowd for Alexio wants him to do the damage and finish the action here in the second round.
Dennis Alexio is very, very confident that he's going to take this guy out.
Left round kick again, and Russell goes down the fourth time. A minute to go in the round.
The force of the shin landing in his right rib cage then dropped him.
I'll call you in.
And again, the most significant part of that, as Joe Corley had pointed out earlier, most of the damage with the round kicks is coming with the left leg, the injured leg, that kept him idle from December of '92 until August of last year.
Mark Russell is covering up real nice here.
There's a left hand, and Russell's down again. And the overhead indicates he may not get up.
7, 8, 9.
The fight is over, and Dennis Alexio with a second round knockout now punctuates his trip to Montreal. Oh, the hand power, the kicking power, the speed of a guy that weighs 198 pounds. Dennis Alexio, and concern certainly for Mark Russell, took the punishment early and often here from the champion. And that was in true Dennis Alexio form, gentlemen.
Mark Russell said, I'm not going to have to stay in there and bang with Dennis Alexio. And for the first 30 seconds, you thought Alexio might have given him the space to move around. But once Alexio found that first punch land, Russell, in this case, didn't have any options after that, Johnny.
Absolutely. I think that he was very aggressive, and we can see here Dennis is throwing a nice right cross right above us. Caught him right on the temple, and he shook Mark Russell considerably.
There was some concern he may not get up off of that one. He did beat the count at 9. And then, of course, the end came here from Alexio.
You can see that Alexio is taking shots at him at will.
That's the leg that Alexio broke, and he just drove it into the right rib cage, took him down. The left hook right on the jaw, and you see when he goes down, the arms come back. He's got no control in the legs there. Alexio hit him with a right hand, a left kick, and a left hook. Hit him with as many weapons, Jean-Yves, as you could possibly hit him with in one round.
Yes, and he certainly discovered which one is going to work against Mark Russell. He caught him with a nice left hook right on the temple. That's hard to recover from.
He's just getting hit from too many directions with too much power.
Excellent balance by Dennis Alexio pays dividends with the second round knockout. Official time at the stoppage of the fight. Here again, our ring announcer, Jim Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match ends at 1 minute and 40 seconds of the second round. Winner by knockout, and still the heavyweight champion of the world, Dennis the Terminator Alexio.
Alexio won his first world title in his hometown of Sacramento, California over Rob Salazar, and now he continues to add the hardware and heads for Montreal as the big showdown coming up, and it's going to be a good one coming up on March 26th. Bobby Chaz is in the ring, and he's up with another champion. Let's go upstairs now. Bobby?
Well, champ, quick work. Rick Rufus did something in 43 seconds. You took a whole extra round. Did you learn much here tonight?
Getting slow in my old age.
Getting slow. I know you're looking forward to Dickie Kimber in March, and you know, was this really good preparation for that?
Yeah, I trained good for this fight, and I didn't take this guy lightly at all. And you know, you should never do that with anybody. But you know, I got in there and got some work in, and haven't fought in a while. But you know, it's important for me to get back in the ring, and get a little bit of ring rest off me.
I'm sure a big question all the kickboxing fans want to know: how about the leg? You seem to favor it just a little bit. How's it feel?
It feels great. I mean, I think I kicked a lot more with my left leg than I did my right.
Okay, I'll tell you what, let's take a look at the monitor. We're going to take a look at the knockdowns. You call them as you see them. We're going to look at the first knockdown first.
Okay, throwing a right hand, caught him kind of high in the head. At the end of the punch, caught him pretty good with it, I guess. Could have been better.
Here comes the second knockdown in the last round. He looked like he was going to be face down and stay there, but he got back up. Here's the last knockdown.
Caught him with a little body shot there.
Everything you threw just seemed to be a little too strong for him.
That was
actually, it's the second knockdown. Combination of your weight and good power, but now here's the end of the fight.
I caught him underneath the body shot there, left leg. That broken one we've been talking about, remember? Caught him kind of high in the ear there, and I caught him on the chin with that one.
He had a big left hook, and when his hands flew over his head, it didn't appear if he wanted to get up. We can show you another angle from overhead if you want to call it again for us. Pretty much it's the left hook. He absorbed enough punishment, even though it was early. He had taken his lumps. And what are we looking forward to now with Dickie Kimber? The same thing, same style, same come ahead. Not going to change much.
There's really no reason for me to change. I mean, you know, I come to fight, and I'm going to be getting down the whole time, and that's what the crowd wants to see, and that's what I want to see, because I'm not in here to, you know, pity around.
Do you see Kimber as more of a challenge than you had here tonight for Mark Russell?
You know, I hope so. But, I mean, you know, everybody's human. Anything can happen in the ring, so you got to respect everybody. But I don't know anything about Dickie Kimber. I've heard really good things about him, and I'll prepare for him like I do anybody else, 100%, and respect him when I get in there, and then take care of business.
All right, champ, we'll look forward to seeing you in March.
Okay, Bob.
Good luck. And we'll go back to ringside and Sam Smith to close it out.
Thank you, Bobby. Well, Joe Corley, we certainly saw some rather rapid fights tonight. The two champions doing what they had to do to get to Montreal. But you may also have found a diamond in the rough in Juan Torres. He had an excellent fight tonight in his hometown.
Oh, there's no question about it. Juan Torres is going to be in our sport what Julio Cesar Chavez has been to the sport of boxing, and it was very easy to see it in his eyes tonight. I tell you, one of the more interesting things I've ever seen in this sport is hearing Juan say to George Angot, "Stay down, George," and because he didn't want to hurt him anymore, and George actually listening and staying down because it was so one-sided. It was not even funny.
Now, of course, the very quick stoppage of the fight with Rick Rufus and Dennis Alexio doing exactly what they had to do tonight.
Well, that's right. Rick Rufus was just, as we said at the top of the show, he came in to demolish his opponent, and it appeared to me that McDonald didn't have the mindset to be able to deal with the Rufus power. We said he'd have to fight backing up, and he didn't even get a chance to back up.
So, and Alexio also finishing his fight very early, and again, he has punctuated his trip to Montreal.
That's right. Alexio, of course, is going to be in with a very, very powerful opponent in Montreal. This Dick Kimber's got 17 wins, 16 of